Hello YouTube, this is RedX here from WinterX Raven, and today I'll be doing a deck profile of the Battlin boxers. Now the reason why I love this deck so much is because of one, they're real fun to play with. You're always going to XZ a lot, and the best thing about it is that this deck can go against the greatest decks that there are. They can go against Shaddoll's, Necrons, Yang Zings, Ritual Beasts, Yusenjus. You know, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. But it's a fun deck to play with, and I like it. Okay, now let's move to monsters. Okay, first up, 2 Counterpunch. Level 3, 0 attack, 11 defense. The one thing I love about this card is that if it's in the graveyard or in your hand, and you have another Battlin boxer on the field and they're being attacked or you're attacking somebody, what you can do is you can banish him from your graveyard or from your hand during the battle phase, and your monster automatically gains 1,000. So that can make or break what's happening right there. Next up, I have 3 Battlin boxer Glassjaw. 2,000 attack, 0 defense. Now, he's good, but he's also bad. The good part is that he's a 2,000 beater. And whenever he's destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can automatically search for another Battlin boxer in the graveyard and add it to your hand. The bad part is that while he's on the field and somebody attacks him, he's automatically destroyed. No matter if they're weaker or higher than him, he's automatically destroyed. And the attack still continues, so you'll be taking some damage. I recommend, if this is the only monster in your hand, put him face down defense. That'll protect you. Next up, I have 3 Battlin boxer Headgear. Now, what I love about Headgear is that, well, he's at 1,000 attack and 18 defense. He has a good defense. But whenever you normal summon Headgear, you can throw away a Battlin boxer monster from your deck to the graveyard. And that's good because you can throw away a Glassjaw if you have another monster in your graveyard, or you can throw him there to save him there. And you can throw away Counterpunch. That way, if something's happening, you have that extra 1,000 waiting for you. Also, with Headgear, while he's, in face-up attack, if he gets attacked, once per turn he can't be destroyed by battle. So that's good, because if they attack him, you still take damage. But the real good is that you have him there for the next play on the next turn. Next up, 2 Battlin boxer Shadow. Now, what I love about this card is that it has 1,800 attack and 14 defense. What's good about him, though, is that you're going to XYZ a lot with his deck. So, whenever you XYZ, you can use his effect. Once per turn, you can, detach one XYZ material from a Battlin boxer or XYZ monster you control to special summon him. Now, that comes, really handy, but if you don't want to special summon him, you can just normal summon, and he's 1,800 beater right then and there. Next up, I have 2 Battlin boxer Sparrer. 1,200 attack and 14 defense. What I love about him is that if you control another Battlin boxer monster on the field, well, what you can do is you can special summon him from your hand, as many as you want. Only downside is that if you do it during main phase 1, you can't attack. With me, if I do a pretty good combo, and then main phase 2, I can bring out 2 of them, or just 1, and have them there for defense or for XYZ. Either way, he's good, because usually I get him on the first turn, play a Battlin boxer, do my thing, special summon him, and go right into XYZ. And next up, I have 3 Battle Boxer Switchitter. Now this is the most important card that you're going to be using in the deck. With Switchitter, he's at 1500 attack and 14 defense. His effect is that whenever he is normal summoned, you can target one Battle Boxer monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. Now what's good about that is whenever you do that and bring out another monster, you can XYZ right away, or you can do a double attack. But if you're thinking about XYZing, the only bad part is that after you use his effect, you can only special summon Battle Boxer monsters, not anything else, so that's kind of a downside, but with this deck you're not going to really see that downside. And besides Battle Boxers, I have 2 Effect Veilers. Effect Veiler mainly used for, getting rid of effects from big monsters. He's at, 0 attack, 0 defense, but he comes in handy if I don't have nothing, put him in defense. Yeah, to bring out something that can do a big combo, negate it, and just take the damage and wait next turn. Next up, I have 2 Mass Chameleon. 1600 attack, 11 defense. Now, what I love about this card is, 1, cannot be normal summoned if you control a level 5 or higher, and you're not going to control a level 5 or higher. But whenever he is normal summoned, you can target a monster in your graveyard with 0 defense, and bring him out special summon and, face up defense. The good part to that is that you can use him with Glassjaw and bring him out and go into an XYZ real quick. Or, because he's a tuner, you can synchro summon into a level 8 real quick. Either way, it's a perfect win-win. And last but not least, Thunder King Rai-Oh. 1900 attack, 8 defense. What I love about this card is that neither player can add cards from their deck to their hands except by drawing them. And if he's on the field and they do a big special summon, you can just get rid of him and negate the special summon. Or you can have him on the field, 1900, beater, so that's good too. Now on the spell. Okay, and starting off the spells, 2 Battle Boxer Spirit. What this card does is that whenever you activate it, you can only use 1 per turn though. You can send the top card from your deck to the graveyard to target 1 Battle Boxer in your graveyard and bring him out in defense. So if you're using your monsters left and right, this card deck can at least protect you for 1 turn until you get something. Then I have 1 Book of Moon for whenever you bring out those big monsters and they have weak defense, just put them in defense and destroy them right then and there. I have 1 Dark Hole, destroys all monsters on the field. What I love about Dark Hole though is that with some of your XYZs, they're still not affected by Dark Hole, so that's good. Then I have 3 Mystical Space Typhoon because I don't like back row. Every time I see back row, I just think to myself, there's probably a Mirror Force there. But either way, it's good to have 3 because they might bring out something that can hurt you, but still. Then I have, lastly but not least, 3 Reinforcement of the Army. This is good because if you don't have nothing in your hand, you can search for 1 level 4 lower warrior type monster and add them to your hand. So with this, it's good to start up a combo. Now on the traps. Now our first trap is going to be 2 Mirror Force. The great thing about this card is that if somebody's attacking you, flip it over, all their monsters are destroyed if they're in attacking position. Next up, 1 Dark Bribe. Does this card too. If a spell or trap card is activated, flip it over, you negate it and destroy it, but they draw a card. Then I have one Fiendish Chain. I really hate effect monsters, so Fiendish Chain helps out a lot. You know, target one effect monster on the field, its effects are negated and it can't attack. Then I have one Mind Crush, because usually there's going to be a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players that can have cards on the field and pop them back to their hand. So it's kind of handy to have a Mind Crush to destroy one of their good cards. Next up, Ring of Destruction. I can destroy one face-up monster and inflict battle damage to equal to the destroyed card's attack to the life points of both me and my opponent. This can be an instant win, or it can just be burn damage to both of us. Either way, whenever you use it, you'll see what happens. Then have one Magic Cylinder, because usually a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players like to strengthen up their monster, so when they attack, just flip it over and watch them rage. And then I have one Solemn Warning. If they bring out something really big, flip it over, you pay 2,000, but you get rid of the special summon monster. Then I have Bottomless Trapple. Thing I love about this card is that whatever monster is summoned onto the field with 15 or more attack, destroy it, but instead of it going to the graveyard, it gets banished. And last but not least, Compose it. Thing I love about this is to see somebody do all these combos to bring out their big monster and be like, nope, compose it, send it back to your extra deck. Now, onto my extra deck. Okay, first we have 3 Battlin Boxer Lead York. 22 attack, 2000 defense. It takes 2 level 4 Battlin Boxer monsters. What I love about Lead York is that once you bring him out to the field, say if he was going to attack and somebody brought out a Mirror Force, or somebody just tried to attack him, the good thing about him is that if he were to be destroyed by battle or by card effects, you can detach one material from him, and instead of it being destroyed, it stays alive. And the good part about it is that it gains 800 attack. So there you go. The more you try to take it on, the more stronger it's going to get. Okay, next up, I have 2 number 79 Battlin Boxer Nova Kaiser. It takes 2 level 4 monsters to bring him out. He's at 23 attack and 16 defense. What I love about him is that whenever you bring him onto the field, if you have his effect is that you can add 1 Battlin Boxer monster from your hand or graveyard to him, and for every material on him, he gains an extra 100. So you can have 3 on him in 1 turn, and he's already at 26. The even better side to him is that if you were to attack and be destroyed by card effect or by battle, once he's destroyed, as many Battlin Boxer monsters that were attached to him were on him and were sent to the graveyard with him, you can special summon them all back. So if you had 4 XYZ material on them, just special summon them back and then bring out something else. Next up, 1 Castel, the Skyblaster Musketeer. It takes 2 level 4 monsters. He's at 2000 attack, 15 defense. What I love about Castel is that he has 2 effects. And if you detach 1 material from him, I can target 1 face-up monster from the field and change it to face-down defense position. Or I can just detach 2 and target one face-up monster and send it back to either a deck or extra deck. So either way, if there's a big boss monster that you can't take down, just bring out Castel. Either detach 1 to put him in face down to wait till next turn to try to do something, or just detach 2 and send them to the extra deck or the deck. Next, I have Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. 2 level 4 monsters, 25 attack, 2000 defense. I don't really use him a lot, but it's good to have him in the deck, in the extra deck. Because you can detach 2 XYZ material from this card to target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half of its current attack, and if it does, the card gains a lost attack. So if you have a big boss monster that's at 3000, 4000, take half of that, add it to Dark Rebellion, and you have one big attack right there. Next up, one of my favorites, number 101 Silent Honor Arc. It takes 2 level 4 monsters, and is at 21 attack, 10 defense. What I love about him is that if they bring out a monster that, is literally impossible to defeat, won't be affected by, traps or spells, or can't be destroyed by battle. The good thing with Silent Honor Arc is that whenever you bring him onto the field, if you detach 2 from him, I can take one special summon monster from the field and add it to him as material. So that's a good way to get rid of a big boss monster on the opponent's side of the field. But if they happen to use a trap card on you whenever you attack with him, or if they bring out a bigger monster to attack you, that monster you took control of, you can just detach and he'll be safe, just like indeed Yoke. But he'll still be there for the next turn. He won't gain nothing, but at least he's still alive. Next up, I have number 103. I can't really pronounce the name. I think it's Ragnazero or something like that. Either way, it takes 2 level 4 monsters. Is at 24 attack, 12 defense. Once per turn during your player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this guard and target one face-up attack position monster your opponent controls. Whoever's current attack is different from this original attack, destroy it, and if you do, draw a card. So no matter what, if they're powering up that monster, detach, take it out, get an extra card. Next up, Abyss Dweller. Now the one thing I love about Abyss Dweller is that it takes 2 level 4 monsters, 17 attack, 14 defense. It's alright. But the thing I love about the most is that you can detach 2 XYZ material from this card, and any card effects that are activated in your opponent's graveyard cannot be activated that turn. I love to mainly use this card on my good friend Winner and his Yang Zings. Right, Winner?
Oh, yeah.
See? He's happy. Next up, I have Heroic Champion-Excalibur. 2 level 4 warrior type monsters. 2000 attack, 2000 defense. Once per turn, you can detach 2 XYZ material from this card. This card attack becomes double its original attack until your opponent's next end phase. Now, the good thing about this card, and I love it a lot, is that if my opponent doesn't have no back row, and he's top decking and just putting out, monsters left and right, but he can't do nothing, bring him out, take off 2, now he's at 4000. If you have another monster in the field, destroy that defense one, and then attack, and that's 4000 right there. And the good part is that it stays until your opponent's end phase, so you have a defense right there too, until it goes back to 2000, but either way, 2000 beater. Next up, I have Blade Armor Ninja. 2 level 4 warrior type monsters, 22 attack, 1000 defense. Once per turn, I can detach 1 XYZ material from this card to target 1 face-up ninja monster you control this turn. That monster can attack twice during the battle phase. So, the good thing is, detach, you can attack twice, 22 beater. And you have that option for 2 turns unless he somehow gets destroyed, but either way, destroy a monster, and if he doesn't have nothing, attack. That's 22 right there. It's either way a good card. Now, that's the end for the XYZs. Now for the synchros. Here, I have Crimson Blader. It takes 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. It's a level 8. It's at 28 attack, 26 defense. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during their next turn. So the good part about that is that they can't bring out fusions or big monsters like that. They can only bring out regular monsters. So that's a good thing about that. Now let's go on to our last card. Scrap Dragon. At level 8, it takes 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. It's at 28 attack, 2000 defense. Once per turn, you can target 1 card you control and 1 card your opponent controls. Destroy them. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 non-synchro scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. I don't think I'll be able to special summon, but at least I'll be able to get rid of one of my cards I don't need on the field and destroy a card that's bothering me on the field. Either way, it's good to have Scrap Dragon. He comes in handy. And that is it. Thanks again for listening to my deck profile on the Battlin Boxers. Hopefully you like, subscribe for more deck profiles. Maybe some good ones coming up pretty soon. And if you have any questions about the Battlin Boxers, please comment in the section below and I'll get back to you if I can. And yeah, thanks again. See you next time.